Have you ever wondered how far forgiveness can stretch in the face of betrayal? In the vast expanse of human relationships, one stands out, the bond between a father and a son. How can this bond survive the ultimate test of betrayal? The age-old tale of the prodigal son poses this very question. It's a story woven with threads of rebellion, abandonment, and the raw, unyielding power of forgiveness. The story of the prodigal son can give us some insight. Once upon a time, there were two sons and a loving father. In a world brimming with love and warmth, a sudden rift began to form. The younger son, restless and eager for independence, made a decision that would shake the foundations of the family. He chose to claim his inheritance prematurely and venture out into the unknown world, leaving behind the comfort of his home and the embrace of his father. This was no ordinary request. It was akin to wishing for the father's death, as in their culture. Inheritance was only divided after the father's demise. The father, heartbroken yet understanding, reluctantly acquiesced to his son's demand. He divided his wealth, giving the younger son his share. The father's heart was heavy with sorrow, a deep pain etched into his soul. The departure of his younger son was not just a physical absence, but a loss that tore at the very fabric of their family. The elder son, left behind, was filled with resentment. He couldn't fathom his brother's audacity nor his father's compliance. He remained dutiful and steadfast, yet his heart bore the weight of betrayal. In the midst of this emotional turmoil, the father stood a solitary figure. His love for his sons remained unwavering, yet he was torn between his duty and his heart's desire. With a heavy heart and tear-filled eyes, the father watched his younger son disappear into the horizon. In a distant land, the younger son squandered his fortune and fell into hardship. He lived a life of reckless abandon, indulging in fleeting pleasures until the day his pockets were empty and his heart was filled with despair. His fair-weather friends deserted him, and he found himself alone with not even a morsel to eat. The glittering allure of freedom had turned into a grim reality of destitution. In this pit of despair, a seed of realization planted itself in his heart. He thought of the warm hearth of his home, the abundance of his father's table, and the love that he had so recklessly abandoned. He realized the gravity of his mistakes, the selfishness of his choices, and the pain he had inflicted upon his father. His pride had led him astray, but humility now beckoned him home. He decided to return not as a son, but as a servant, willing to work for his keep. The prodigal son understood the depth of his errors and yearned for redemption. He yearned for the chance to make amends, to heal the wounds his departure had left on his father's heart. His journey back was not marked by the thrill of adventure, but by the weight of remorse. Each step he took towards home was a step towards atonement, a step towards forgiveness. With a humbled heart and a spirit filled with regret, he decided to return to his father. Back home, the father saw his younger son approaching from afar. The joy in his heart was as boundless as the horizon. He ran, his old legs carrying him faster than they had in years, to meet his wayward child. His arms, filled with love and forgiveness, embraced the son who had returned from his misguided journey. This was not a time for grudges or reminding of past mistakes. No, this was a time for celebration, for the lost had been found. The father's heart was a beacon of forgiveness, shining brightly in the face of his son's remorse. The father did not see a prodigal who had squandered his inheritance. He saw only his child, his beloved son who had returned. Yet not all hearts were jubilant. The elder son, dutiful and steadfast, was consumed by a storm of resentment. His brother had been reckless, and yet he was welcomed back with open arms. He confronted his father, his words as sharp as a winter wind. The father, with a gaze as calm as a summer's dawn, explained. He had not forgotten the elder son's loyalty, nor was he rewarding the younger son's recklessness. He was merely expressing his unconditional love. "Your brother was lost, and now he's found. Can we not rejoice in that?" he asked. In the end, the father's love and forgiveness healed the family's wounds. So what can we learn from this story? The tale of the prodigal son is a timeless reminder that love and forgiveness are pillars of family relationships. It teaches us that no matter how far we may stray, there is always a path back home. A path warmed by the power of forgiveness, a power that transcends pride, ego, and past mistakes. It's a testament to the enduring love within families that overcomes all obstacles. Remember, forgiveness isn't just a gift to others, it's also a gift to ourselves.